welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I'm on my feet, I'm on my feet, on my feet. Today, I'm doing this is the second time I've done a video like this. This is a video by which I believe the traditional term is an unhaul. But what I'm going to be doing is going through the books on my shelves because they're getting too busy again. There's not enough room. Look at this sort of thing. Look at this. Look at this. This is abysmal down here. You can't even see that. Look, if I tilt you, look at that. No, I'm not happy about that at all. So what I'm planning on doing is working my way through my shelves, placing particular focus on the problem areas, i.e. the blue books. Those publishers, they love to publish a blue book, and taking off at the very least 10 books, which I will then, I've got a little footstool here, I can be like this, like I'm in charge, which I will then, if they're YA books or children's books, my sister is a secondary school teacher. She teaches teenagers English, and as you may well know, the schools in the UK do not get much funding for books to have at school, so quite often I give her any YA books or children's books that I have read and don't no longer want, and that makes me happy because people can't afford books. People can't afford books, and people sometimes can't get to libraries, but they can get to school. So and the kids are reading those books, so I feel happy about that. So they'll either go there. The other option is if any of you guys fancy any of these books that I'm going to unhaul, drop me an email at laurenandthebooks@gmail.com. And if somebody hasn't already snapped it up, you can have it. The only thing I will say is that it'll probably cost me quite a lot to post them all. So if you want to PayPal me the postage, which I think will be like £1 or £2, £2? Is that how much postage is? People tell me. If people know, do tell me down below how much it costs to post a book, because I don't actually know. Then I'm happy for you guys to have it as a gift from me to you. But disclaimer, I'd like you to pay for postage. And then the last thing is, any of those books left over, I work for Diabetes Centre. I work for the NHS, but I work specifically in a diabetes centre, and we have a book selection there that when people buy them, they pay £1 for a hardback or 50p for a paperback, and the money there goes to Diabetes UK. So those are 3 things that I will be doing with the books. Now, I need to work my way through. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull them off. You're going to see me doing it live because I haven't really looked. I just know I need to get rid of some of these books. I'm going to start pulling them off, and then I'm going to show you what they are. I'm going to tell you what they're about. I'll probably just read the blurb if I can't really remember very much. And yeah, and let's just do this. So I'll start here with this bother area. Probably I can see one I want to get rid of already. Right, okay. So this book, what I normally do when I read books, unless I love them, and I mean love them, I send them to work. I don't get rid of them. I don't keep books because I've just got so many books, unless they're my favourites, which I put up here, which you can't see. Put that in between. I'll show you my favourite shelf. That's up there. That's my favourite shelf, and that's my Harry Potter shelf. So unless they fit in with my favourite shelf or my Harry Potter shelf, they don't stay. So this is a book that I enjoyed. However, I know I'm not going to read it again, and I feel like I'm going to get rid of it because it will make space for more books on my shelf. So that is The History of Bees by Maya Lunda. This is a book that tells the story of a world without bees. It's split into three time periods. I think that's what it's called. You follow England in 1852, the United States in 2007, and China in 2098. And in each place, you follow a different person who has some sort of relationship to bees. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. However, I'm not going to read it again. Oh, something else I will say is that it has got little post-it notes from the author. Not as many as I thought there would be, but a few post-it notes throughout from the author. So yeah, so that is the first book that I'm going to be getting rid of, and I'll put that over there. Oh, it's going well already. I haven't even had to have a think about that. Then I can start. I'm not gonna tidy up as I go because we'll just be here forever. But that's the first one I'm getting rid of. What else? I've got 4 more. So I'm quite pleased with these. 2 of these are proofs and 2 of them are books. So I'll start with the proofs. The first one is When All Is Said by Anne Griffin. This is quite a recent book. It only came out in January 2019. I thought this might have been longlisted for the Women's Prize, but it was not. And I was quite interested in reading it. However, on flicking through, because you know me, I love a book set in Ireland. On flicking through, it's very long chapters, which is not something that appeals to me. And also, I was Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing commented on my video and said that this book was a bit like A Man Called Ove, which is a book that I tried to read and did not enjoy. So I don't think I'm going to be getting to it anytime soon, so therefore I'm going to be getting rid of that guy. Oh, I should tell you what it's about really. So It says 5 toes, 5 people, 1 lifetime. If you had to pick 5 people to sum up your life, who would they be? If you were to raise a glass to each of them, what would you say? And would you learn about yourself when all is said and done? This is the story of Maurice Hannigan, an Irish farmer. Over the course of a Saturday night in June, he orders 5 drinks at the Rainsford House Hotel, and with each he toasts a key person from his life: his adored older brother, his troubled sister-in-law, his daughter of 15 minutes, his son far off in America, and his late much missed wife. Through these people, the ones who have left him behind, he tells the story of his own life, of his regrets, feuds, loves and triumphs. So that's that. Yeah, that's just not going to get read anytime soon. And then the next one is one that I have read, and that is The Light in the Dark, A Winter Journal by Horatio Clare. I read this. Mercedes and I went to see Horatio Clare do a chat about this at Cambridge Literary Festival. I very much enjoyed the chat, probably more than I enjoyed the book. The book I did enjoy, but I didn't love it. So it is a journal of winter, talking about the sort of changes in the environment and things like that. And you're also following Horatio's journey with depression. And there are some really dark times in there, but there's some really beautiful writing in there as well. Now, I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to read it again. So that's why I'm getting rid of it. And yeah, as I said, it's a proof copy. And then the last 2 are books that I have on my shelves that, one of which I can't remember how it got here. The other I picked up at Penguin Christmas Party, and I haven't read it by now, and I probably won't be reading it. So the first one is From the Heart by Susan Hill. She is the author of Woman in Black? I've read any other book. I don't even think, no, I have read Woman in Black. I remember because it's set on Christmas Eve. Always remember the book set at Christmas. But I just don't think I'm ever going to get to this. It's sort of sitting on my bookshelf, not really doing much. And I don't know if there's ever going to come a time where I'm going to think, oh yeah, I really fancy reading that. So I'm going to get rid of this. It says here, everyone liked Olive Piper, a happy, open-hearted child growing up in the 1950s. Her life is contented. When her passion for reading gets her into university, she feels sure the world is waiting for her. But then she makes a mistake, the kind any one of us could make, and faces an impossible choice. So yes, getting rid of that. And then the next one, as I said, is one that I picked up at the Penguin Christmas Party like years ago. Not 2019. I've got a feeling it wasn't even 2018. I think it was 2017. And it is Wizards and Robots. It's got quite a fun cover. This is by will.i.am and Brian David Johnson, and it's about technology, and the acknowledgements are done in binary, so it's got some quite cool ideas. I just don't feel like it's probably for me at any time. It doesn't actually tell me what it says here. Hidden for centuries. God, it's really hard to read because it's white on sparkly. Hidden for centuries, a wizard clan awakens, hungry for power. In the future, robots fight a losing battle against a vicious enemy. Both are looking for a young woman. Her name is Ada Luring. So this is the sort of book that I will give to my sister, as it is, I believe, a YA book. But if not, it will appeal to YA readers. So yes, that is 5. I've still got 5 more to go. Quite pleased with how I'm doing. I think I'm doing better than last time. Right, I've got 4 more, so after this I just need 1 more. The first one is also a book that I've read and enjoyed. I just won't read it again, and knowing that this is going to my sister's classroom where teenagers will read this, I feel much better about it doing that than sitting on my shelves. And that is The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. This tells the story of Cameron Post, who is a young girl whose parents die on the day that her parents die, she has had her first sexual encounter with another girl. And then she goes to live with her aunt as a result of her parents dying, and her aunt is staunchly anti-gay, and she ends up going to a sort of church camp to sort of get the gay out of her. Very enjoyable, really enjoyed reading it. It sort of made me feel like when I read it, it's got sort of like modern classic feelings about it. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like a lot of young kids would, young adults would enjoy reading this very much. So that is going to go, and yeah, enjoyed it, but just it's got a better place to go. It's got another job to do. That's what's good about books. Go on your way, go on your way. The next one is I Call Myself a Feminist. This is the view from 25 women under 30. So this is, as I said, 25, oh look, Jean gave me this back in the day. Hold on. This is a book about feminism. It's got lots of different, some as small as like, some little essays, some sort of quotes and things like that in terms of feminism. For example, sometimes I wonder if men and women really suit each other. Perhaps they should just live next door and just visit now and then. Catherine Hepburn said that. Now, I enjoyed this book, but I feel like this has got another place to go, and that is my sister's classroom, because I feel like my feminism has moved on a bit from this. This is more of a sort of introduction to feminism, and at the time that I read it, I really enjoyed it and really found it very valuable. But now I find that I found different feminist texts that I find more valuable and apply more to myself. So that is going to take its little trip to my sister's library. And then the next two are hardback books. The first one is Little Nothing by Marissa Silver. I got this from Mothbox. Do you remember when Mercedes used to do Mothbox? She used to do a subscription box which showcased books from smaller independent publishers. Fantastic idea. Really enjoyed some of the books I've read in there. Never got round to reading this, and I don't think I ever will get round to it. It's published by One World, and it says here, in an unnamed country at the beginning of the last century, a peasant couple longs for a child. Despairing, they turn to gypsy tonics and archaic prescriptions, and one cold wintry night the couple's wish comes true. But the silence that follows the birth forewarns of darker days to come. Stranger look on askance and fall speechless in the child's presence, and villagers protectively hush their children as they pass on narrow market lanes. Pavla is no ordinary child, and this is no ordinary tale. So yes, if you fancy that, let me know. And then the last one is a bit of a surprise to me, but honestly, I just don't see what it's going to achieve being on my shelves for much longer. And that is one of my favourite authors, guys. It's Transcription by Kate Atkinson. I read this at the end of last year, was it? Or the beginning of this year? Either way, when I read it, I love Kate Atkinson. Behind the Scenes at the Museum and Life After Life are two of my favourite books ever. Really, really adore it and love her writing. Still got to read God in Ruins. It's still there, still haven't read it. I need to pick that up. Maybe I actually definitely will pick that up this month. But the Transcription, although enjoyed, I just found it fine. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars. It might even have been a 2.5. And I know I won't read this again. So yeah, it's going to go on to another home. If that may be your home, let me know. I'll let you know what it's about. It's about, I can tell you, I don't even need to read the blurb because I can tell you. It's set in 1940 and it follows a woman called Juliet Armstrong, and she is reluctantly recruited into the world of espionage, which is actually literally the first line of the blurb. And she's working in a department in the MI5, typing up a transcript of what's happening in a room next to her. And then you also follow her life a bit later on in life when she's working for the BBC, and then even further later on in life, that's in the 60s, and then even later on in life in the 80s. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I found it fine. Fine is the word that I'm saying, but other people have really, really enjoyed this. And yeah, hopefully you will too. So that's 9, let me check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I need one more to be a good girl and to have got 10 off my shelves. To be fair, they're not even looking any clearer than they were earlier, but it's a good thing. I've got rid of 9. One more. And this is weird because this used to be one of my favourite books, but since then I've been very much against some of the things that this author has said. So this is The Standing Chandelier by Lionel Shriver. You may remember that this was one of my favourite books of 2017. It's a short story, a very, very much enjoyable short story. But since then, Lionel Shriver said a few things that, oh my God, where is all this hair coming from? It's like Minnie's hair and my hair conglomerated. Lionel Shriver said a few things that I don't particularly enjoy hearing or agree with, and I wouldn't read this again. It will still remain in my mind a very, very good book. I also read The Post-Birthday World that year, which I thought was an amazing book, but I sort of made my own decision not to read any of her stuff in the future. But this is a story about a set of best friends, a boy best friend and a girl best friend, a man and a woman, who are very good friends, and they've had a sort of few forays into making it into a sexual relationship, but it's never really worked. And then when Weston decides to get married, Gillian, she's an artist, and she makes him this massive art piece called The Standing Chandelier, which she gives to them as a wedding gift. After their wedding, Weston's wife decides that she doesn't want him to have anything to do with Gillian anymore, and Gillian then asks for the piece of art back. Very interesting look into friendship and what it's like when you don't like a friend of your partner's, etc. But yes, like I said, it's just not, Lionel Shriver's just not for me anymore. So those are the 10 books I'm getting rid of. I'm going to get them now. These are the 7 that are up for grabs, because the other 3 are definitely going to my sister's library. That is The Standing Chandelier by Lionel Shriver, Transcription by Kate Atkinson, Little Nothing by Marissa Silver, From the Heart by Susan Hill, The Light in the Dark by Horatio Clare, When All Is Said by Anne Griffin, and The History of Bees by Maya Lund. If you would like any of these books, do, as I said, drop me an email, laurenandthebooks@gmail.com, and if somebody hasn't got in there before you, then you are more than welcome to have it. The only thing I will ask is that you just send me the money for the postage, because I mean, you can see how much I'm struggling to even hold these up. So yeah, that's 10 books. off my shelves. Very much enjoyed doing this. Feel a bit cleansed. I'm gonna have a little bit of a tidy up now. And see, I can also see another one. Oh no, I do want to keep that because it's about the beginnings of the NHS and I should read that really. But yeah, I will be doing this again in future. I will put a link to the video that I did last year about this as well, just so you can see how I came to the decision to do that. Look at this, we're all off centre. I like it to be very beautiful behind me. And I will see you all again on Sunday for another booktube video. Goodbye.